Hey everyone, LordDavon here, and today I am bringing you a different approach on a tank system from nHaler, and it's called the Reactor Tank. So the Reactor Tank is now there is a new version out, and I haven't reviewed the new version yet because I guess the accessories aren't available for the one that I actually did get. This is a dual coil, and they only have one version now that's dual coil. All the rest are single coil, and I'm glad to see that because of course my biggest downside is they're using a dual coil atomizer in this thing. So it's nice to know that they've listened to feedback, and I've given them back some feedback on this tank, that they've moved from the dual coil over to a single coil. Because the dual coil atomizers, I'm just not a big fan of them, and they use some filler material, and I don't know if that's what causes the flavor to be off to me. But the flavor is off to being a dual coil atomizer. So the Reactor Tank is a 2 ml tank system that basically has an atomizer in the center of it. Now, I don't believe they've changed too much from the original design, which is why I'm still moving forward with this review. It has like I said, it has a dual coil atomizer in the center, and it has a cap, and then they give you 5 different color of these little 801, 808, 801 style mouthpieces, basically the colored versions of the things that you find inside a cartomizer. Now the head of the tank will basically just come off, and you've got a bridged, and in this case a dual coil atomizer in the center, and you fill it with juice, whichever kind you like, and the one that I have in here is a heavy VG juice. You get it up to about the point to where the cap pushes in. You can't go any higher, or it just kind of pushes the juice and gets all over the place. So you place the cap back on, tip it upside down, and then you push it on. And what you get is a tank with an atomizer in it. Now the question is, of course, because this is a little bit advantageous. It's ambitious to try to create a tank with an atomizer in it. As simple as that concept may seem, it's not. A lot of people have been trying this for a long time, and I guess nHaler spent like 6 months just researching and designing this product. So how does it work? It works pretty well, actually. I'm not a fan of the dual coil tanks, dual coil atomizers. I like a good HH357. I like a Cisco Spec 306. I'm a big fan of the Vape i06. So, when it comes to the dual coils, they seem off, and I think it's because there's filler between the 2 coils. And I think that they use that in here to probably help with leaking, and possibly to keep the coils moist. It does help. But like I said, they've moved to single coil, and it's a good move. I need to get another reactor tank so that I can review the new version, but as far as the original goes, it's not bad. I haven't had any leaking problems, and I've used this for quite a number of fills. I've had it for a few weeks now, and I really do like this tank system. It is a great approach on trying to put an atomizer, in a tank. And the reason why we want to do this is because people like me, I'm a dripper. I drip into an atomizer and vape because I get the fullest flavor. You can't beat that for flavor. You get the best amount of vapor, and depending on the type of atomizer you use and the type of PV that you use, or mod, or APV, or battery, or whatever you want to call it, you can get some amazing results. And the reactor tank is a good approach. Now, is it the same thing as vaping on my HH357 on something like my VVPV? No, it's not. It's good though, but it's not the best. But that being said, it's $67, and you get the tank, and it comes in different colors. They got red, gray, clear, green, topaz, pink, purple, and blue. So, and you can get it in like a satin finished or a brushed finish. And this one is the, I believe this one is the brushed finish. So you get to have something that kind of matches what you use every day, which is a good thing. So nHaler took this approach and created a decent product. I'm actually quite impressed with the Reactor Tank. Now, am I going to tell everybody to go run out and buy it? No. It's up to you, honestly, whether or not you want to get it, as with anything. But there's some downsides. Again, it uses a dual coil atomizer, at least in this version, and because of that, make sure you are getting the latest version that they have. That's the one that comes with the single coil, and I think that's going to work better for most people. I haven't tried it myself, but I will. I will try it, because again, I like this tank, and to find it improved, well, that's exciting. A couple other things. One is, it's small. It's a small tank. And I can get about 1.5 ml in here. My skill set does not allow me to get the 2 ml in there when I'm pushing the cap on. If I put any more than 1.5 in there, it leaks all over the place. So maybe that's their intention, is the 1.5. It does work with VG and PG alike, but of course it works better with PG juices than VG. I do find that if I chain vape on VG, I can get some dry hits, and I'm talking about 100% VG, like Boba's Bounty. And even though that's a thinner, it's a thinned VG, it still has a little trouble within the Reactor Tank. You know, this one is 1.5 ohms. Yeah, 1.5 ohms. As you can see on the VMAX, and I usually don't use the VMAX with the Reactor Tank. I use my Buzz Pro 2. But I just wanted it because it has the ohm check on it for the review. So the Reactor Tank is a good tank, and I like what they did here. And I like the idea that this tank represents, and I do think it's a good vape. But at $67, I think that there are other things within its price range that may make it, that they're better choices. First, because the atomizers are $9–10 a pop, in the long run, you could actually buy something a little more expensive and possibly save money. Something like the Steam Machine VST out of Greece. It's $96. The accessories are another like 10 or 15 bucks to get something, but to me that thing is just, that's the ultimate. You can get the Phoenix atomizer, and it's a rebuildable atomizer. This is the Phoenix, and you can get it over at Vapor Bitch. You know, but it's a rebuildable atomizer. So really, all you're doing is buying wick and coil, and this is $40. It's $39.50, I think, over there. You know, so there are other choices available that may make more sense than this tank. So there are things that you need to consider as to whether or not this is going to be for you. Something else to consider is the DEFCON. The DEFCON is at SNS Mods for $55. Again, that's something else that's rebuildable, and in the long run probably will save you money. And these things give a vape much like dripping. This, believe it or not, this Steam Machine is probably the closest I've come. Although it's not, you know, the review is coming, but it's not, you know, it's not dripping, but it's close. So that being said, the Reactor Tank, good tank. It's backed by a good company, and nHaler is one of the best out there. I've only been working with them for, well, this review, but they were nice guys. I liked them enough to work with them and spend $67 on this tank. and I think the end result is a good tank. Now you can use this plug-in here. You can use any 510 drip tip you want. Just push it on the top, so you don't have to vape on this large mouthpiece. It does come in other colors, and it is $67. And for those of us where it's only $67, yeah, you should probably try it out. For those of you struggling to figure out where you're going to come up with $67, maybe there are better options for you out there. Now, of course, I have 2 TVN shows, so twice a week you can catch me there. Or, of course, Skype me, my Skype ID. My Skype ID is LordDavon. Alright, that being said, this is LordDavon. I gotta go get that. Let him know I sent you.